So how do we actually delete a file and a folder? Very simple. I've already created a controller for the delete. So I'll just go down here. For the delete, you want to take off a file or you want to take off the file. So it's very simple, as I said before. Now, what you're going to do is that you're just going to come in here. You take away the file from the database. This is how to take the file away from the database. Very simple. Everybody knows how to delete. So of course, you need to get the ID of the file that you want to delete. So you get it from request.body dot the file name, right? That's what you use to delete. So this is not file name. This is actually FI. So you'll be wondering, why am I using this? Why am I not using the ID of the stuff? You can also use the ID. As you can see, this stuff has an ID. If you check on your database, it has an ID. So you can delete via the ID. The ID is unique. And the file name also, the ID of the file name is also unique. So even if you install the same file in several ways, right? If you want to delete that file, it's exactly the same thing you're going to do. Very simple to deal with. So I can use many options. See, I can decide to, let me refresh this. I think I have one more. So for example, I can decide to use this. This is unique, right? Yes, I can decide to use this. It's also is unique. That's the ID. And I can also decide to use the file name. The file name is unique. So I want to upload the same file twice so we could get what I'm talking about to let you know that that is unique. So this was the file I did the other time, the computer system stuff that has the PDF, that was PDF. I want to upload the file again. And if you check my database, I think that's the second record on my database. And you can see the file name here. Look at what the file name states. Just look at this, 8ACE, and it started with 03. So let's look at this now. I want to upload the same, run the same stuff again. So if I do that, I've done that. Okay, let me go back to this place and just refresh and see if we're still going to be having the same file name, even though it's the same file. So as you can see, right here, the file name is ACE, end with ACE. Look at the file name that we have in here, end in 948. Can you see that? So different. So that means that I can upload a particular file. I can use the ID or I can use the file name. So the file name could be an ID because it's unique. That's what I am. That's why I'm using this other one. So I'm using this file name as the ID to take it off. I can use the ID as well. So I can console.log at the ID. I don't think I need to console that out. So we just, as usual, we just do this. And we said if the file is equal to this and this, you should just do this. So it's a try catch. You should find one and delete. And what we are deleting by file name, right? So there is a field called file name that I created on. Now look at this file name. Don't be confused with this file name. This was what I created on the feed of my schema. So we are saying that in the feed of the schema, please delete the one with a certain ID. That's what we're actually doing. So we're just going to take off that ID. And and once that is true, I'm just going to write here. I'll say if ID, or let me say dfi, that is if delete file. So this is ternary operation, right? At least we've used this in our validation before now. If dfi, then it should do a particular thing. It should just do rest.send, rest.send to the front end so that the front end developer can know what is going on and say delete file successfully deleted. So the file is successfully deleted quickly, and that is it. And S, if it is not, then it should just do rest.send. And that should be error in deleting, or just a fail to delete. Failed to delete. Then I'll end this one with a semicolon. Just like that. There's no big deal. Very simple. So this is called a ternary operation. It's just a way of writing if-else statements. I think If you don't know that before now, this is it. This is like the if, right? Then this is the X, the if, sorry, this is the condition, right? So this is what you want it to run if it is true. And if it's not true, you put your column and say run this and say false. And boom, is going to do that. So that is all we need. That is what we need to delete the file from the database. To delete the file name from the database. Now, we're not only deleting file name. If we delete the file name from the database, the file will still remain here. As you can see, we have 3 files here. We may delete it and the file still remains here. So how do we take off this file? So that is where our knowledge of file manipulation comes in, which we are going to be using quickly. So once as it is doing that, we should be able to tell it to unlink the file. Is that okay? So once this is doing this, is taking this off, it should also be unlinking the file. So we want to unlink the file. We'll say unlink, right? So we are unlinking the file. So fs.unlink, that's how you unlink. So where is the file located? And what is the name of the file? Is that okay? So the file is located in uploads. So you locate that /uploads. Are we in the same directory? I don't even know. Okay. So my uploads. So that's the name of the file that we are taking out. I think it's / my upload, right? So yeah, that's it. So / my upload, not my upload, my upload. So / my upload at, yeah, because we are in another directory. So that is it. So we're going to be saying my uploads. That's what we are taking. We are going into the folder called my upload. But what's the name of the folder that we want to take out? We want to take out a folder that has a certain folder name, right? So this thing, I can do this as a JavaScript developer. You can do this as what is called array littering. Is that okay? But you can also do it in a very simple way and just concatenate it. Now, you know, this is going to be / the name of the file, right? So the name of the file here is going to be file name, request.file name. That is whatever we get from request.file name, which is this one. What am I typing? I said request.body.file name. That's wrong. It's request.file name, right? Okay. So that's the ID. I would have gotten an error if I did not check that. So we'll take that. So that's what we actually want to concatenate it with. So that's the name of the file that is taken out. So if it goes into that stuff, it's just going to look for it and say, okay, where is a file called my uploads? So you're just going to do that. Okay, my uploads dot this dot that, and it looks at that and say, okay, we are going into a file called my upload. We are going to a folder called my upload, and we are taking away this file with this file name. Is that okay? So that is exactly what we are doing behind the scene. Okay. Or since I have actually saved this one in variable called ID, so I should just use ID as well, right? Instead of typing this again, because everything here is already stored in the ID. So that is what I actually want to unlink. So we're going to save that. So how do we know the file name that we want to unlink, as the case may be? So in this case, we're just going to be running a normal delete request, and we're going to be passing the data of the file name that we actually want to get off. Now, if you check out this is what we need, the file name, and we'll pass the ID of the file that we want to take off. So let's go test that out quickly. So we'll go to this, and we are going into delete. The request is delete, and the body, we'll go to the body, and we want the raw data. I want it to be JSON. And this time, that's not what we want. What we want is this, the file name. So we want the file name object and key, and it should be taking the value of whatever file name this is. So I'm going to look for the the ID of this. So let's quickly check out the ID on our database. Let's assume we want to delete this ID, this file name with this ID, this second one. Okay, we want to delete that. That's what we want to delete. So we're going to come in here. We'll just place it here. And fingers crossed, then we'll check out the route also. And the route for delete, I think is D something. So, okay, it's called delete photo. So we're going to check that. So we put that route here. And we are deleting the photo. So let's run that now quickly. So we're saying that. So we see photo successfully upload. Was it upload I said, or should delete it? It's running something else that I didn't ask it to run. Well, it's like I wrote something else there. Okay, let me look at the if statement when I was actually doing that. That should be a schoolboy error from me. Okay, it was file successfully deleted. I think that's it. So let me save it again. Let me save that and run it again quickly. So this is a delete and boom, we'll go. So let's wait for a moment. So we are getting error. Okay. So let's see where the error is coming from. In the unlinking. Okay, cannot read property of undefined file name. Okay, it's saying that that file name does not exist. Request dot file name. Are you kidding? Okay, let's see what I've actually done wrong. Request dot so the ID gets the file name, which is request dot okay. Okay, so let's see where that is coming from. Okay. Okay. Okay, just another schoolboy error. What we're actually getting from the front was the file name that we entered in here. That was what I called this feed. So it should tally with what we have in here. So it should be file name, and it's coming from request.body, not request.file. It's coming from request.body. So let's fix that. That's a very big mistake from me. So request.body. So dot file name. So I think it's file capital letter name. So that is it. So file name. So that's what we're actually bringing. That's a feed. You know, we are getting it from here, just like the way we normally delete, you know, or we've been deleting before now. It's exactly the same thing we are doing. So I think that's just a little error. So let's quickly correct that and run this now. Everything should be successful now. Okay, so we save that and we go back to this and we hit this. Okay. So here we go. It said code error, invalid archetypes. Okay. So it means that it's actually throwing up an error. Apart from it says everything went on, but it's throwing an error. It said invalid argument types. So we're going to check that again and see why it's like that. But we'll check this place. We'll see that nothing was actually unlinked. And if we go back to the database or probably we're going to check the database to see if anything was taken off. And yes, it was taken off, no doubt. But the problem is that the file wasn't unlinked, wasn't taken off from here, right? So we still have three files. We're supposed to have two files. In other words, what it means is that it's actually working. It's taking away, it's deleting it from the database, but yet we still have the file. It's not deleting it from the folder as the case may be, right? So that is the issue we are having right now. So let's check that out quickly and see how we'll be able to fix that. See, I think we've actually spent too much time on this video. So let's go to the next video and do that. Bye for now.